Hey Scorpio, welcome to your monthly reading for March. Let's dive in and see what March has in store for you guys. Messages for Scorpio for March. Messages for Scorpio for March. All right out the gate, we have Jupiter, action. We have expansion, growth, pursuing passions, adventure, new opportunities, and fortune. All right, Scorpio. So it looks like the month ahead for March is proving to be a very positive one. Jupiter is a really positive energy to get. It's a very lucky energy, and it looks like you might be pursuing something new. Maybe you're starting a new job, maybe you are starting your own business, or maybe you just have that new creative flair firing up again and getting that fire in your belly. So you're going to do something, that you've always wanted to do. I have the hunter. Okay, yeah, I mean, this is just a card of action. You are on the prowl. So it looks like you're really just in an energy where you have your eye on the prize. You have some kind of goal in mind that you feel very passionate about, and you're ready to take action on it. And it looks like the energies are conducive to it playing out in your favor. Okay, Scorpios. So it looks like, whatever it is that you're hunting, good for you. Looks like you're right in line for something really good. Let's take a look more for Scorpio for March. Messages for Scorpio for March. All right, here we have freedom and sacrifice. Okay, this really comes along with the territory of something kind of new. So with these new opportunities kind of playing out, new growth, new expansion playing out, there always is some kind of sacrifice. Okay, so when we have a sense of freedom, whether this is retirement or starting your own business, starting a side hustle, whatever it is that you're pursuing at this particular moment, or whatever prize it is that you have your eye on and are intent on achieving, it comes a little bit of a sacrifice. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean a sacrifice that is a bad thing. It just means that, in order to have that freedom, we tend to need to sacrifice something, whether it's sacrificing time, energy, money, whatever it is. This can be a really positive thing. The energies that are playing out here aren't anything bad in regards to that sacrifice for that freedom. But what it means is just saying, hey, this is going to take time and energy. So just make sure that you're aware that even though this might have been a dream or a passion of yours for a really long time, it's still going to take some time and energy and money to invest into it to really make it play out the way that you're hoping to and make it successful. Okay. But, honestly, when you are doing something that you're passionate about, it really doesn't feel like work at all, does it? So good for you, Scorpios. Woo, that one came out fast. So we have alignment here and now. Wow, Scorpio, it looks like the month of March is just really playing out in your favor. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's working. So it looks like you're really in alignment with something that is near and dear to you. So what is happening is that it looks like you are meeting the universe halfway. And when we meet the universe halfway by putting in the time, the energy, the dreams into something that we're wanting to pursue, they will align with us and they will make sure that some of these things kind of get in alignment for us so that they can play out in our favor, whether it be opportunities or people that will be conducive to our success in making these things happen. Whatever it may be, you're just really solidly in alignment with that. So what you're being guided to do here, honestly, at this point is kind of just keep doing what you're doing, Scorpio, because things are looking really good for you. Just stay in that present energy and continue to have that, attitude of gratitude so that these energies kind of stay in alignment for you and really play out in your favor, especially with this Jupiter card of expansion. Things can really go far for you because you're putting in the time and energy and effort, and things are going to play out in your favor here. Let's look at the recent past, Scorpio, for you. Recent past for Scorpio for March. Recent past. All right, we have the Fool. So again, this really is conducive of an energy where you have, just had that energy to take that leap of faith, whatever it is that you're pursuing. It looks like you got that bout of courage and just kind of jumped right into it with full faith and surrender, and things are really looking good for you because that Fool card, it looks like they're just kind of walking on water right there. And so it looks like you're in an energy similar to this where you might be feeling like, hey, you know what? Why not? Life's too short. I'm just going to do this. And you just took that leap of faith anyway. So congratulations, Scorpio. It's not easy to take those leaps of faith, and just kind of jump into something. All right. Let's take a look at the present energy, Scorpio. Present energy for March for Scorpio. Fortune really does favor the brave, Scorpio. So let's see what's going to play out for you here in the present energy. Present for Scorpio for March. Ooh. All right, I have the Five of Swords coming out. Okay, so I mean, this can happen when we're taking a leap of faith. I wouldn't sweat this energy. It doesn't come across as anything bad to me. The Five of Swords can be an energy where we play a little bit of mind games with ourselves, where maybe, we're finally like, okay, I took that leap of faith. I, took that jump and I started this new business and I'm so excited. But then the reality of it hits, and you just kind of go into this little bit of a spiral in the mind, and it just kind of begins to, allow doubt, and fear, and insecurities to rise to the surface, and can be a little bit uncomfortable. So what you're being guided to do here in the present energy, Scorpio, is just don't let those little mind games play out on you and affect you in any sort of way. Stay focused on your eye on your prize, because the energies are conducive to success happening here. So anything that's coming into your mind that isn't in alignment with those positive thoughts and that energy of moving forward is just kind of that mind game, and it's just going to play a little bit of tricks on you. So just don't play into those negative thought patterns, and that way you can kind of steer clear of this. This might even be an energy where it's just necessary to do what you need to do. So sometimes when we're doing something new, or we're making a job change, we just need to do what we need to do. Instead of worrying about, like, say we go into a new, we started a business of our own, and we're worried about our boss. Maybe we've been somewhere for 5 years and they really counted on us, and we're worried about, well, how will things be when I leave? Will they be able to do this? Will they find someone new? And you're feeling a little bit down and out about that. But this is really also an energy of just saying, hey, you just got to do what you got to do. They're going to be fine. Someone new will come in, someone will take your place, things will be fine. Don't worry about it. It's not for you to really stress about. Sometimes you just have to focus on your well-being and what your goals are, and not really focus on anyone else's at this time. Okay, this is like what we would consider a healthy version of selfishness that we're not really used to. We're used to selfish being kind of a naughty word, and really selfishness can be just doing what is good for you, okay, despite how other people feel about that. Let's take a look at the near future for Scorpio for March. Near future for Scorpio. All right, I have the Ten of Wands. Okay, so again, this might even be that you left something behind. Okay, with the Ten of Wands, it really is, it can be a job or a relationship or a situation that really made you feel burdened. You may have had a lot of responsibilities that were on your shoulders to bear. And so this might be that, hey, I'm going to leave this behind. I'm going to just kind of put this heavy weight down, get these monkeys off my back, and I'm moving on and moving up. So this is really an energy that's saying, good for you. Good for you for putting those things down, because you clearly were putting in far more energy than you should have been. And maybe you were being taken a little bit for granted in that situation. This may have been, again, a job that just really put a lot of responsibility on you, or maybe it just was no longer aligning with where you are in life, and you have other hopes and dreams and goals. And so this just wasn't really conducive to you being able to have any free time for that. When you're in the Ten of Wands, it's just like, carrying bricks on your back all the way uphill and just never seeing an end in sight. And so this shows me that you're at the end of that. And so this is a really good energy to be in. You're really willing to take that leap of faith and put down the burdens of old and move into something new. I have the overall energy here being the Eight of Swords. And so this can be, again, those mind games. So with that present energy of the Five of Swords coming out in your present, it really is saying, hey, there can be a feeling of, your mind playing a little bit of tricks on you, especially when you're making significant change. This means that, the only one kind of keeping you trapped in some of these mindsets of, what do I do? Did I make the right choice? Or did I make a fool of myself? Is this a mistake? It can really get you feeling really, really, really stuck. And so the key here is to get out of that old mindset, get out of that stuck energy of that mind, because things are really playing out in your favor here. Maybe you're not seeing it, but it's just because you're kind of in that mindset of like, did I make the right decision here? Am I going to regret this later? And that can keep you really trapped in a mindset that leaves you not really seeing things clearly for what they are. But what I can see right here for you, Scorpio, is the month of March is absolutely fabulous for you. So, put down those mind games and lay them to rest because you're doing just fine here with this reading so far. Let's get some advice for you, Scorpio, okay? Advice for Scorpio for the month of March. Advice for Scorpio for March. All right, we have the Chariot. Okay, so the advice here is to just kind of keep going, Scorpio. Keep moving on up and, keep the energy flowing. The Chariot is a card of victory, and this victory isn't just, it doesn't just happen upon you. This is actually saying, hey, congratulations, because of your time, your energy that you put into this situation, you're now going to be successful at it. So the Chariot is really a card of victory, and it's a quick moving energy if you allow it to be. If you keep yourself kind of stuck back in that mindset where you're kind of wondering, if you made the right decisions or if you're moving in the right direction or leaving that job or starting a new company, and it's evoking a lot of those, negative plays in your mind that you think, may or may not happen, it can really leave you feeling stuck. So the Chariot card can be an energy that even is just a stuck energy where you're not even moving because you just don't even know what to do. So you're going two different directions, which doesn't even allow the Chariot to move forward. So you need to kind of get into alignment with your, heart and your mind and rest knowing that things are playing out in your favor. Things are going the way that they should go, even though there's going to be a little bit of that feeling of uncomfortability. No change comes about without some sort of transitionary feeling of uncomfortability. And so that might be the energy that you're in right now, Scorpio, but I assure you, your energies are playing out really positively here. So put that to rest and get yourself, in alignment so that that energy that wants to play out and, move you forward quickly can. Okay, let's take a look at what might be hidden in this situation, Scorpio. In case, there's something that you're not seeing clearly that can be a benefit to you. Okay, we have the Three of Swords here, which can indicate that there was something here that maybe just happened that maybe just left you a little bit disheartened, okay? This could have been the end of a relationship or the end of a job or just an end of an era. You may have been with someone for a long time and it was just time to kind of move on. Maybe you just felt really burdened by the responsibility of that. Maybe you're a parent whose kids just, are gonna go off to college or off doing their own thing, and now you're kind of finally laying down that responsibility in that role and you're just feeling a little sad about the situation. Just because we're making positive changes in our life and they're going in a new direction that we've always hoped for them to go doesn't mean that we're not a little bit sad about the situations that we're leaving behind. Okay, whether that's a job, a relationship, whatever it may be, Scorpio, it's okay to feel a little bit sad about this, but you can take that energy of that sadness and that heartbreak and use it to fuel your fire to go towards something more positive and uplifting for you. Again, these energies are really playing out in your favor. So don't let something like this kind of, make you take a step back or keep you stuck and not moving forward. Really, things are looking really good for you, okay? Let's take a look at what you don't see coming for the month of March, Scorpio. What does Scorpio not see coming for the month of March? All right, we have the Emperor. Okay, so the Emperor is coming out in an energy that you don't see coming, but basically what this says is you're going to get your groove back. So this is an energy of taking full responsibility for your life and taking action on it. This is someone who is confident, he's cool, he's calm, he knows where he's going and he knows what he wants. He's got his eye on the prize just like you, Scorpio, and he gets things done, okay? Regardless, he overcomes those little bouts that we get into sometimes where we're, unsure of ourselves and we don't really know if what we're doing is in our best interest or if it's going to be successful. But the Emperor sits calm and quiet and he knows and has faith. Hey, you know what? I know which direction I want to go. And even if it doesn't work out the way that I hope it will, I know how to pivot. I know how to do something different. I know how to flow with the situations and the challenges and find my way around them. I find solutions, not problems. Okay, so the energy of the Emperor here that you don't see coming in March is just saying, hey, you got this. You can do this. Have faith in that. The only one that's holding you back right now really is just you, Scorpio. So get out of that negative mindset, get out of that place of doubt and fear, and really allow yourself to see this in a positive way and know that you can do this. And no matter what, you can make change You can do something different. You can find a new way to go about things if you run into a little bit of an obstacle. Just because something feels hard or difficult doesn't mean that it's not right. It doesn't mean that you didn't make the right decision, okay? So don't fall into any, self-doubt on that. The Emperor here is really saying, hey, Scorpio, success is all yours if you let it be. So that's for your reading for the month of March, Scorpio. I hope you enjoyed it. And until I see you the next time, take care.